Australian Information Security Manual. In audiobook format. Please subscribe and like for more content. Part 5. This part of the audiobook will cover the following sections. Guidelines for outsourcing cyber supply chain risk management. Managed services and cloud services. Part 5. Guidelines for outsourcing. Guidelines for outsourcing. Cyber supply chain risk management. Cyber supply chain risk management activities. Cyber supply chain risk management activities should be conducted during the earliest possible stage of procurement processes. In particular, an organization should consider the security risks that may arise as systems, software and hardware are being designed, built, stored, delivered, installed, operated, maintained and decommissioned. This includes identifying and managing jurisdictional, governance, privacy and security risks associated with the use of suppliers and service providers. For example, outsourced cloud services may be located offshore and subject to lawful and covert data collection without their customers' knowledge. Additionally, use of offshore services introduces jurisdictional risks as foreign countries' laws could change with little warning. Finally, foreign-owned service providers operating in Australia may be subject to a foreign government's lawful access to data belonging to their customers. In managing cyber supply chain risks, it is important that an organization preferences suppliers and service providers that have demonstrated a commitment to secure by design principles, secure programming practices and maintaining the security of their products. In addition, suppliers and service providers should have a strong track record of transparency and maintaining the security of their own systems and cyber supply chains. Also, in some cases, a shared responsibly model which clearly defines the responsibilities of suppliers, service providers and their customers can be highly beneficial. Security control, ISM 1631. Components and services relevant to the security of systems are identified and understood. Security control, ISM 1452. Before obtaining components and services relevant to the security of systems, a review of suppliers and service providers, including their country of origin, is performed to assess the potential increase to systems security risk profile, including by identifying those that are high risk. Security control, ISM 1567. Suppliers and service providers identified as high risk are not used. Security control, ISM 1568. Components and services relevant to the security of systems are chosen from suppliers and service providers that have made a commitment to secure by design principles, secure programming practices and maintaining the security of their products. Security control, ISM 1632. Components and services relevant to the security of systems are chosen from suppliers and service providers that have a strong track record of transparency and maintaining the security of their own systems and cyber supply chains. Security control, ISM 1569. A shared responsibility model is created, documented and shared between suppliers, service providers and their customers in order to articulate the security responsibilities of each party. Further information on cyber supply chain risk management can be found in the Australian Cyber Security Centre, ACSCS Cyber Supply Chain Risk Management and Identifying Cyber Supply Chain Risks publications. Further information on supply chain integrity can be found in National Institute of Standards and Technology Special Publication 800-161, Supply Chain Risk Management Practices for Federal Information Systems and Organizations. Further information on outsourced goods and services can be found in the Attorney General's Department's Protective Security Policy Framework, Security Governance for Contracted Goods and Service Providers Policy. Managed services and cloud services. Managed services. Managed service providers manage the services of an organization on their behalf. This may include application services, authentication services, backup services, cloud services, desktop services, enterprise mobility services, gateway services, hosting services, network services, procurement services, security services, support services, and many other business-related services. In doing so, managed service providers may manage services from their customers' premises or their own premises. In considering security risks associated with managed services, an organization should consider all managed service providers that have access to their facilities, systems or data. Security control, ISM 1736, Revision 0, updated, MAR 22, Applicability, All, Essential 8, NA. A managed service register is maintained and verified on a regular basis. Security control, ISM 1737, Revision 0, updated, MAR 22, Applicability, All, Essential 8, NA. A managed service register contains the following for each managed service. Managed service provider's name. Purpose for using the managed service. Sensitivity or classification of data involved. Point of contact for users of the managed service. Point of contact for the managed service provider. Outsourced cloud services. Outsourcing can be a cost-effective option for providing cloud services, as well as potentially delivering a superior service. However, outsourcing can affect an organization's security risk profile. Ultimately, an organization will still need to decide whether a particular outsourced cloud service represents an acceptable security risk and, if appropriate to do so, authorize it for their own use. Cloud service providers and their cloud services will need to undergo regular security assessments by an InfoSec Registered Assessor Program, IRAP, assessor to determine their security posture and security risks associated with their use. Following an initial security assessment, subsequent security assessments should focus on any new cloud services that are being offered as well as any security-related changes that have occurred since the previous security assessment. Security Control, ISM 1637. An outsourced cloud service register is maintained and verified on a regular basis. Security Control, ISM 1638, Revision 2, Updated, MAR 22, Applicability, All, Essential 8, NA. An outsourced cloud service register contains the following for each outsourced cloud service. Cloud service provider's name. Cloud service's name. Purpose for using the cloud service. Sensitivity or classification of data involved. Due date for the next security assessment of the cloud service. Point of contact for users of the cloud service. Point of contact for the cloud service provider. Security Control, ISM 1570. Cloud service providers and their cloud services undergo a security assessment by an IRAP assessor at least every 24 months. Security Control, ISM 1529. Only community or private clouds are used for outsourced secret and top secret cloud services. Contractual security requirements. Obligations for protecting data are no different when using a managed service or cloud service than when using an in-house service. As such, contractual arrangements between service providers and their customers should address how security risks will be managed. However, in some cases an organization may require managed services or cloud services to be used before all security requirements have been implemented by a service provider. In such cases, contractual arrangements should include appropriate timeframes for the implementation of security requirements and break clauses if these are not achieved. In addition, although data ownership resides with service providers' customers, this can become less clear in some circumstances, such as when legal action is taken and a service provider is asked to provide access to, or data from, their assets. To mitigate the likelihood of data being unavailable or compromised, an organization can document the types of data and its ownership through contractual arrangements. Furthermore, an organization may make the decision to move from their current service provider for strategic, operational or governance reasons. This may involve changing to another service provider, moving to a different service with the same service provider or moving back to an on-premises solution. In many cases, transferring data and functionality between old and new services or systems will be desired. Service providers can assist their customers by ensuring data is as portable as possible and that as much data can be exported as possible. As such, data should be stored in a documented format, preferably an open standard, noting that undocumented or proprietary formats may make it more difficult for an organization to perform backup, service migration or service decommissioning activities. Finally, to ensure that an organization is given sufficient time to download their data or move to another service provider should a service provider cease offering a particular service, a 1-month notification period should be documented in contractual arrangements. Security Control, ISM 1395. Service providers provide an appropriate level of protection for any data entrusted to them or their services. Security Control, ISM 0072. Security requirements associated with the confidentiality, integrity and availability of data entrusted to a service provider are documented in contractual arrangements. Security Control, ISM 1571. The right to verify compliance with security requirements is documented in contractual arrangements. Security Control, ISM 1738. The right to verify compliance with security requirements documented in contractual arrangements is exercised on a regular and ongoing basis. Security Control, ISM 1451. Types of data and its ownership is documented in contractual arrangements. Security Control, ISM 1572. The regions or availability zones where data will be processed, stored and communicated is documented in contractual arrangements. Security control, ISM 1573. Access to all logs relating to an organization's data and services is documented in contractual arrangements. Security control, ISM 1574. The storage of data in a portable manner that allows for backups, service migration and service decommissioning without any loss of data is documented in contractual arrangements. Security control, ISM 1575. A minimum notification period of 1 month for the cessation of any services by a service provider is documented in contractual arrangements. Access to systems and data by service providers. To perform their contracted duties, service providers may need to access their customers' systems and data. However, without proper security controls in place, this could leave systems and data vulnerable, especially when access occurs from outside of Australian borders. As such, an organization should ensure that their systems and data are not accessed or administered by service providers unless such requirements, and associated measures to control such requirements, are documented in contractual arrangements. In doing so, it is important that sufficient measures are also in place to detect and record any unauthorized access, such as customer support representatives or platform engineers accessing encryption keys. In such cases, the service provider should immediately report the cybersecurity incident to their customer and make available all logs pertaining to the unauthorized access. Security control, ISM 1073. An organization's systems and data are not accessed or administered by a service provider unless a contractual arrangement exists between the organization and the service provider to do so. Security control, ISM 1576. If an organization's systems or data are accessed or administered by a service provider in an unauthorized manner, the organization is immediately notified. Further information on managed service providers can be found in the ACSC's How to Manage Your Security when Engaging a Managed Service Provider and Questions to Ask Managed Service Providers publications. Further information on the definition of cloud computing can be found in National Institute of Standards and Technology Special Publication 800-145, the NIST definition of cloud computing. Further information on securing cloud services can be found in the ACSC's Cloud Computing Security Considerations, Cloud Computing Security for Cloud Service Providers and Cloud Computing Security for Tenants publications. Further information on conducting security assessments of cloud service providers can be found in the ACSC's Anatomy of a Cloud Assessment and Authorization and Cloud Assessment and Authorization, Frequently Asked Questions publications. Further information on the purpose of IRAP, and a list of current IRAP assessors, is available from the ACSC. Further information on the whole of government policy for secure cloud computing can be found in the Digital Transformation Agency's Secure Cloud Strategy publication. Please subscribe and like for more content. More parts will continue.